Good morning. Hi, everyone. Come and say hello. Yes. Hello from my barky dogs. Hello, Benji. Hello, Lola. Hello, Teddy Bear. They all saying hello to you. How are you today? They know that you're here, Mom. Mom is feeling better so now she's chiming in. She says, tell them you have company. So here. Oh, and her puppy, I forgot to mention her puppy, Bo, is also here. So we have a full house, and we are going to have a lovely time today. We're working on 3D projects in Design Space and in other places. And Saturday night we had an utter fail with our puffy heart, but I think it was having to do with the paper I used, which was glitter paper. So I have cut that out again, and I'm going to do it again later today. But we're pressing on, and we're going to be doing this lotus flower. I'm going to show it to you because I had one picture. Look at that. Isn't that pretty amazing? Somebody was asking me where I got this from, and it's in Design Space. It's one of the new files, and it was really super easy to put together. I have a few variations that I want to show you just in case you want to do it slightly different than the way that it was set up. Also today at the end, Bo is a corgi mix. Bo is a dwarf dog, but is corgi mix, so he's very fluffy. But yeah, Bo started off as Owen, which is the name of my son, and then we changed his name to Browen, and then she changed his name to Bo because it was easier. So that's Bo. And we're all here today to have a lot of fun. But also today, I am going to be announcing the winner of our July Bundle of Joy, which is a joy machine with all the extras worth $250. I'm going to be announcing the winner. We've had a contest as we do every month, and the winner was chosen yesterday. I chose the winner yesterday, and I was like practically gonna burst with excitement, but I kept a good secret. I'm good at keeping secrets, and I'm going to make that announcement later on in the show. And I think that the winner will be very happy. I hope she's on today. Oh, I gave it away. It is a she, but that's like 95% of the watchers. So, today's show is just the beginning of our 3D adventure. You know I love 3D stuff. I'm always doing stuff from other designers, but this one is actually from Cricut Design Space. It's one of many new files that were added in Design Space. I'm going to show you where to get it and also how to put it together. There's a couple variations, right? Yeah, there were well over 1,000 entries this time, which is really huge. And it was no longer than last month. Last month, I forgot how many we had of entries, but it was definitely a lot more than last month. So it was a tough thing, but thankfully we did it through Ravelcopter, and I know it's a little confusing that way, but it does a random picking of the winner, so I don't have to make a decision. It just automatically picks it, which is great. Let's see. So before I get started, I just wanted to remind you that this is Cricut Chat. My name is Rita, Miss Rita to the rescue. I have been doing Cricut Chat for well over a year now, like year and a half almost. And it's a daily show that we do on Facebook, and then we air the repeats or the replays on YouTube. And if you go to my YouTube channel, which is at Miss Rita to the rescue, or you can also find it if you type in Cricut Chat with Miss Rita, you'll find all of the videos, and there's like over 600 videos now, because this is a daily thing. We do it Monday through Friday, and then also on Saturday night we do date night. So if you are finding that these videos are supportive of you and you're learning a lot, whether you're coming every day or couple times a week, or maybe you catch all the replays, I would urge you to consider supporting me through Patreon or also Facebook. Patreon is a monthly subscription program. You basically pay $5 or more if you want, and you are supporting me as an artist, and I'm able to then provide you with all kinds of different content. Also, you could be a winner in our monthly giveaway. We had 2 winners this past month. They were Kathy Mordecai and Dietra McKinney, I think. McKinney, Dietra. And also just wanted to point out that we also had these other winners for the month of July. We had Kathy from Idaho. She won on Saturday night. And we had Lisa Webster and Christine Vate James. So we, in addition to doing the bundle of joy, we also give away prizes, and all of those prizes are courtesy of me and Cricut, our friends over at Cricut, which make and create Design Space and all of those wonderful machines that we love so much. So thanks for tuning in, and consider supporting me as we continue on with this wonderful tradition, or I don't know what you're going to call it. This wonderful program called Cricut Chat. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to be making this lotus, as I mentioned. And what's interesting about this project is it actually uses something, it's a tool from the maker. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's used to deboss the lily pad. But if you don't have the maker and you want to still do this, that's okay. I'm going to show you 2 variations that you can do. Also, I'm going to show you how to put together the flower. It's very full, and I actually have some material to sort of emulate the look of the flower. So I wanted to first go and have a look at these flowers, these lotuses. So lotus, or a water lily, is a beautiful flower, and it comes in all different shades of pink and even like a white or a cream. The way that this was designed, it says to do it in cream, but I decided I wanted to do it in pink. And you can see sometimes they're even like a very dark shade around the edges and almost purpley. So I'm going to be using something from Lia Griffith called Pan Pastels, just so I can show you how you can get these different color variations on the petals. Okay, so to find this project, let's go back to Design Space, and I will start fresh with new. I'm going to save this. And we're going to go to projects right here. Now, please remember, if you have a Joy machine, if you're going to projects, you're going to see different things here. So if you want to see these projects, even if you have just a joy. I would suggest that you go up here at the top where it says machine. I have mine selected at maker, but when you go up here, you can use this drop down and choose a different machine. This, if you have a joy, it would be selected as joy, and you're going to not see, or you're not going to see all of these projects. So switch it over to maker or explore, and you'll be able to see these projects. Just make sure when you go to cut them, you cut on the joy. That's what that's about. Okay. So we're going to go here to projects. It's down here 3, and it looks like a little notebook with a bookmark. So we're going to hit projects, and we have this set for maker. So here I wanted to point out there is a number of really awesome 3D projects here that were just added, and this is the one that we're going to do. It's called a 3D Lotus, and you'll notice it has that A. A means that it is a project from Design Space Access Program, meaning if you are a Cricut Access customer, you can make this for free. And we're going to be doing, we did this heart on Saturday night, but we're going to be doing some of these other wonderful projects, including the whale's tail. We'll do the crystals. I'm going to attempt to do the fox, and then there's a number of great flowers too. But I thought that we would start with the lotus. It's Monday, and lotus is supposed to be like tranquility and all of that. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to choose this one. And when you click on it, it will tell you a little bit about the project. Unfortunately, there's not a ton of description, but there's enough. And I did go over it several times to make sure that I got all of the pieces that we need. You're going to need 4 different colors. You're going to need a dark green for the lily pad, right? And then you're going to need a light green for under the flower. Then you need to choose what color petal you want. I've cut it out in both pink and cream, and then there are the centers, which are right here. So we're going to go ahead, if we're all set to go, pick out our paper. You need two pieces of 12 by 12 for the petals, and 1 each for the other color. So I'm just going to bring this to the to my workspace, my canvas, so you can see what this is. It does come grouped, so I'm going to ungroup it. The petals are pretty simple. There's 3 different sizes. Don't get overwhelmed. There's large, medium, small, and there's like, I think there's 10 of the large. Maybe it's 6, maybe it's 12, 3, 6, maybe it's 12. And then of the medium, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 of the medium, and then only 5 of the small. And then there are these little round things. These are the bases that you're going to build the petals on. We're going to actually build 3 layers of petals, and then these are going to be the centers. So there is that. That's the flower. The lotus, the lily pad is simply a 1 sheet that you'll notice has a very dark lines on here. That's because it is set as a deboss. Deboss is something that you would do with your maker, only uses the maker, okay? So the maker has something called a deboss, and I'm going to show it to you. This is it. It is, let's see, what does it have? The number 21, and it's kind of weird because it's like a little tiny like almost like a rolling ball, I believe, at the tip there, okay? And it basically is going to put onto your paper a depression on the paper, right? That's going to give it this signature look like this. But if you do not have a maker, you have an Explorer, you can change this so that you can either use a scoring stylus or even a pen would work if you wanted to use one of your pens to just sort of indicate that this deboss is like part of the lily pad. It's just it's only there as for a look is what I'm trying to mention. So if say you are working on this, you do not have a maker, you do not have the deboss, whatever reason, you just need to select on this and look over onto the layers. You see here, it says deboss, and then here is the basic cut. So that is what we have selected. And we're going to just choose the layer that is deboss. See that? I have that chosen. Then I'm going to come over here up to operation and pull down this menu. And I just need to switch it to, if I want to, I can switch it to score. And you notice it changes the look here. Or if I wanted to, I can change it to pen, which also it changes the look. So we're going to leave it on deboss. I'm going to move it back to deboss so that I can show you how this works. Okay, so now we're going to go and resize it. Now this project is, it's quite large, and maybe you might want to make a whole bunch of lotus flowers and not a lot of lily pads. I don't know. I was thinking this would be beautiful as a centerpiece, maybe with several other smaller flowers around it or something. Probably cool in a yoga studio, or I don't know. Just it's just kind of a beautiful flower that would make a nice little centerpiece. So you can resize this project. Some of the other projects you cannot resize, of the new projects you cannot resize, but this one you can. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit make it on this. And you'll notice that I have to choose, is it on the mat or not on the mat? When I choose on the mat, it separates by color onto mats. And because there are a lot of petals, there's 2 mats worth of petals. And it's in off-white. You could change the color if you feel like it. And then here are the centers. All this stuff cuts out as a basic cut. That's the bottom of the flower. Now, this is the last piece that you have to, if you have a maker, you're going to use the deboss. If you don't have a maker, you're going to use a pen or a scoring stylus, okay? So let's hit continue. And we will just, if I have the green, I don't know if I have, yeah, I do. I have the green. So we're going to just cut out and deboss so that you can see how it works. This one mat. And I got some paper that we'll use for that. And when you get down here at this bottom piece, I'm going to choose medium cardstock, and you'll see here it says I don't need a tool in clamp A, but I'm going to need the fine deboss tip in clamp B. And then it says coming up fine point blade. So let's go ahead and do that. I have my my paper. Isn't exactly the best green, but let's choose it anyway. And I'm going to move you over here so you can see my machine. So I'm going to load this in. Now I'm going to take my deboss, which, by the way, some of you might have purchased the deboss, just the tip, and you have this housing. Maybe you have different tips that go with it. This is the same for, say, scoring, perforation, and engraving, which we're going to be going over engraving soon, I promise. So here's the deboss one. Again, it has a 21 on the tip, and it has like a little roller ball on the bottom. It's kind of a weird thing. So before we go to cut it out, it's going to do the deboss first, just like we always do. It has a special action like the scoring, and then afterwards it does the cutting. So we're going to just put that in here and close it, and we're going to hit go. Let me just move you so you can see. And it is going to deboss this paper for us, and then we'll switch over to cutting. So that's it. That's all you need to do. What is debossing? Debossing is sort of like the opposite of emboss. An emboss is when you have a raised design or an edge on your paper. You often can achieve that when you're using embossing folders, or sometimes if you want to do it by hand, you would actually put it in a stencil on it and use a very special tool that has a like a ball tip, and you put that on your paper and it creates like a divot that is a design on your paper. So deboss is the opposite. It creates more of an indentation, not a raised thing, but more of a divot. Okay, and that's what that is. So it's sort of opposite of emboss, but it's just creating a pattern or some sort of like a picture or a pattern or something on your machine. Again, you can only use the deboss on the maker machine. So if you chose to, you can switch this out. You can still make this and use pen or use your scoring stylus if you want to. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. So now we're done. So I took that out. I'm putting in the cutting mechanism, and we're going to cut out the lily pad. It's as easy as that. So simple. So I'm going to, we'll just let that go, and then I'm going to move you down here to show you how to put together this flower, the lotus flower. There are a lot of leaves, but it's really not that difficult once you kind of get the hang of it. So let's move you down. No, that's a really good question. Someone's asking, Tara is asking, does the underside of the lily pad show emboss? It's a really good question, Tara, but it really does not, unless you have really thin paper. This paper is pretty thin, but if you're using like Cricut cardstock, it doesn't necessarily show all the way through. So this one does show through a little bit, but this is the Cricut one, and it barely shows on that. So I know what you mean, like, could you achieve an emboss by just doing the deboss on the opposite side? And unfortunately it's not going to work that way, but it's a good thought. So excellent thought. Okay, so we're going to put together this flower. Before we put them together, I just want to show you all the pieces. Okay, so here's our lily pad. Isn't that cute? And then this is going to be put on the underside of the flower, and then these are going to be put on the inside of the flower. So we're going to put this aside and just focus on the leaves. So the leaves are 3 different sizes, as I mentioned. So you have a lot of the large ones. Let me just make sure I've got these. So there's the large ones. Here's the medium size. Right? And these are the small. Okay? And then you'll see you have these 3 little discs that have these notches in them. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like spaces, or there's 2, 3, 5. Yeah. 5 notches, right? And they're 3 different sizes, so large, medium, and small. Now, before you go ahead and get these petals ready, you might want to try coloring them. This is kind of an advanced technique, so I'm just going to mention it. I'm not going to do it for our entire flower, and in fact, I'm going to just sort of use my off-white, which is what I did. So you might want to think about coloring this, and you could certainly do it with a sponge dauber if you have like an ink pad, but I kind of like this thing here, and I figured since I hadn't used it, I would I would haul it out and have a look. So this is a Lia Griffith product. I did buy it on Amazon, and I will post a link for it. Hold on just a second. There we go. Okay, so I did post a link. I will post a link on this. I did buy this on Amazon. It's branded as Lia Griffith. It's called a Pan Pastel. If you have taken an art class in the past, you might have encountered these. They're almost like what I would consider like a cream foundation, or it's soft and powdery, but also like creamy feeling, and they lend a very interesting look to paper flowers in particular. And so I want to just show you how they work. So this is not you must buy these, but rather if you want to try for this look to make it look more authentic. So you would take something like this. This is a little sponge, and you would take whatever color you wanted to do. So let us use this light pink color at first, and you can see it's just sort of like a powder, right? And I have this protective piece of paper here to protect my space because it does stick pretty well. And then I'm just going to brush across my flower petal like this. You see that? And it gives I'm going to do it on the other side since this is a 3D project. Now, if I wanted to get really intricate about this, I could come back and take a little bit of this darker purple and do even more, just the edges. And I noticed when I was looking at my pictures that the color tends to be closer to the base, like that. So there's how you would color them. And you could obviously color them any way you like. There's a sort of a peachy color here. There's even like a goldish color. And it's just basically this mica. It says it's called mica coated with titanium oxide and iron oxide. So it just creates kind of like a neat, it's like blush, I think. That's what I would call it. And you could use this on your, obviously, all different colors, this one here. And it comes in a lot of different colors. This is not cheap, but it does create a really beautiful effect. So I thought I would mention it, and it is not required, okay? So if you want, first go ahead and color all of your petals like that. And then, let's move these petals over. Then what we're going to do is we're going to work with the petals and this, which is a scraper. Everybody should have these. If you have a machine, they oftentimes will come with them, or you can buy them and they come in the tool sets. They're very common. If you don't have one of these, you can use something else. But what we're going to do is take the scraper, and we are going to start working very gently on turning the sides of the leaves inward. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this to all the petals. You see that? Now, the large ones, we're going to do it the least amount. The medium size, we're going to do a little more. All right, and the small, we're going to do the most. Okay, so this is what we're doing. And that's just to emulate the look of the flower. And you will, if you've never done this before, you'll get the hang of it. It is a fairly easy thing to work with. And here we go. So I'm just going to run through these real quick, so you'll see how this goes together. I probably should have prepared some of them ahead of time, but you know, we're here, we're having fun, so that's all that's important. And learning. My mother is actually sitting in my joy spot, so she's going to be the peanut gallery today. So here we go. And there are quite a few of these petals. I think there's like, I don't know, over 30 petals for one flower. That's quite a lot. And I also thought maybe I'd like to do this in crepe paper. I don't think that I would do the lily pad in crepe paper, but maybe the flowers would look cool in crepe paper, but I don't think that you'd need the slit here, and so we'd have to take that out. Crepe paper is really fun to work with. We started working with this early in the summer, but we went on to other things. So if you do have crepe paper and you're interested in seeing how crepe paper flowers work, one of my favorite designers, Lia Griffith, does all kinds of crepe paper flowers, and you can find on her site, she has like a subscription base, but you can find on her site all kinds of flowers. I'm sure she has a lotus. I have to go over there because I am a member of her subscription program. So here we go. We're still working here. Thanks for being patient. So you're just going to do this. This is a nice little project to do on maybe in front of the TV. Cut them all out and get them ready to do in front of the TV. I think that would be kind of fun. And after a while, you'll just get into a groove with it, and you'll just be doing it. So see how we're just curving the sides. So we're not curving it this way, we're curving it on the side, and it just takes a little practice to get this this whole thing. So just a few more, and then I'm going to show you how to glue them, because they have that slit there that needs to be glued. And that's going to give it that signature look of standing up and being like a lotus. A lotus is such a beautiful symbol, like of awakening, and is often used in like yoga and chakra training and Buddhism, because it does look a bit like a person sitting in the lotus, the lotus position, like in meditation. It's really quite an interesting flower. So just a couple more and we will be ready to glue. And you guys will do a better job. I'm rushing through this, so you'll do it better than me, because you won't be trying to get to the end as quickly as I am, trying to keep my program running a little bit, on time. We try to keep it under 45 minutes for the program. Okay, so here are all of our petals, all now nicely shaped. We're going to use a glue, and yes, you can use a liquid glue like this. You could probably also use a glue gun, but you guys know I'm not a big fan of glue guns. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each petal and we're going to just put a little tiny bit of glue right here on one side of the slit, and we're going to create sort of that 3D effect here, and it's like almost like a little cup, and we're just going to go through and do that for all of these, just like that. You can make yourself a little pile here, just like this. Again, there are a lot of the large ones, and in fact, we're going to make two layers onto one of these little circles, just like that. So yesterday, my sister and I took my mom to this place, and this is where she's going to be living. It's in Beverly, which is, as you guys may know, it's like one town over from where I live. And what a place. It was called it's called Colonial Gardens Gracious Retirement Living is the real name, the true name. Gracious Retirement. Boy, was it gracious. Really nice. They had everything there. They have a movie theater and a library, a puzzle area. They have activities galore and a beautiful courtyard in the back, which is what she's going to be overlooking. What?
All your meals?
All the meals are included, including like snacks and coffee, and you can have visitors, and just real nice and very very nice rooms. A little bit pricey, but we'll make it work. Anyway, it was just real nice to go there, and I think Mom really liked it. So she is actually going to be moving there on this coming Sunday, which is August 1st. We have to get all of her stuff from up in New Hampshire to move her in. But boy, this place, very impressive. So of course I'm talking to the activities director, and very sweet person named Krista, and I said, do you have a Cricut here? Of course I said that, right? And she said, yeah, I do. I'm trying to learn how to use it because she was fairly new at being the activities director. And I said, oh, well, if my mom comes and lives here, I'm happy to come in and show you how to use it. And then she got real excited and showed us some rolled flowers that she did with the residents. And I was like really impressed. So nice. What a nice girl. And just gracious is definitely a good word for this place. So pretty excited. Let's see, what else do we have to do? I have to still tell you who the winner of the Bundle of Joy for July is. And by the way, if you're not the winner, don't despair. There's going to be other opportunities to win. We give away once a month. We give away a big prize and then a bunch of little prizes. So we've been giving away the Joy since April. We gave 2 away in April because that was kind of our anniversary. And then we did May, June, and now we have July. We're going to do the giveaways through the end of the year and next year as well. And we'll probably do a Joy giveaway for August. We are doing an August one. So at the beginning of the month, make sure you look for the opportunity to get your name in for that. Okay, so I've got all my flowers here. I think this one is, and if you got them mixed up like I did, you can just sort of put them together. Okay, so here's the medium size one. So we're going to start with this large piece here, and you notice that there are notches. That's just for placement. And we're going to take and put some glue onto that tip of that petal, just like this. And we're going to start placing them, and you got to give it a minute to hold. And I noticed it does fall over when you just have 1 or 2 of the flowers. But we're going to keep going along. And I am overlapping a little here at the bottom, and we're going to do 2 rows. Okay, we're 2 rows on this large piece because we have that many petals. And you notice that the leaves are sticking up. That's what we want. So I think there's even though there are 5 notches, I think we're going to be able to put 6 flowers, 6 row, 6 on the first row, 6 on the second row, or maybe 6 and 5, and just give your glue an opportunity to work. And again, if you love a glue gun, use that glue gun. Me, I don't love the glue gun, so I'm going to use my favorite, which is the Sparely Art Precision Craft Glue. And once I have that, and you have to kind of reach in there just like that. Okay, that's my first layer with the large petals. And I have quite a few left, so I'm going to go back in and do a second layer in there. And we want to keep the space sort of open, so don't crowd them in. Maybe I'm crowding them just a little too much, but I want it to look really full. All right. And this one. You can't really mess this up. So, you know, if you're like, oh, I didn't put the exact number of petals on, don't worry about it, folks. It's not that big of a deal. It's a flower, and all flowers, they look similar, but not the same. That's the beauty of nature. So here is our first, just so you can see the bottom. Now we're going to take the middle piece, and this is a small piece. We're going to save that small piece. We're going to do the same thing with the middle piece, but instead of working inside the flower, we're going to work on this piece. Isn't this easy? And it's really soothing. It's really like very soothing to do this. And I think it would look really cool with the Pan Pastels. And maybe I'll do that and show you what I have. I also recut out my puffy heart from Saturday night. And I did it in this shimmer paper. And I'm going to put that together later on today as well. And I will show you my finished project. So I hope nobody got discouraged, because I did have a hard time putting that together. And I was really concerned, because I'm like, is it my glue? Is it my paper? What is it? And it turned out it was my paper. I was using glitter paper, and if I wanted to use the glitter paper, I should have been using a thicker glue such as E6000, or maybe even a hot glue. So glitter paper has a tendency not to glue as well, and that's what I experienced. So I didn't have a problem with my actual glue, it was just the paper. Okay. So you see what we're doing? It's like a little cup, and we're just putting each of those petals in there. And last one. Here we are. Okay, so there we go. That's the second one, and here's the third one. We're almost done. Isn't this great? Oh, did I not glue these? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't. So we're going to glue these. My dog, Lola, she snores terrible. I can hear her. She's relaxed and snoring. Now, if you want, you can use your fingers to sort of shape these. These ones should be really well defined, really well, like sort of curled on the edge. Can you hear her, Mom? Mm-hmm. Lola. She's quite the little princess. She had a big fight with Benji yesterday, and so that was hard, having to pull her apart from Benji. Benji held his own though, so she was the one that was the most affected by it. She's got a little limp too on her leg, which is, well, this is what happens. So, okay, so here is the last piece. We're going to put some glue on there, and we are going to make the final little cup, I guess, or layer of petals. Now, wouldn't this look sweet for like a wedding? Like to put these on a table at a wedding party? I think that would look really beautiful. Maybe with a tea light or something on the side, or if you well, if you live in a retirement community and they have this beautiful dining room and it's all decked out, so maybe for one of their events that they do, I'll have to tell my new friend Krista about it. Okay, so there is the three. There's the large, medium, and small, waiting for this glue to dry. And then all you simply need to do is to glue the bottom of the middle piece and put that in there. See how it is really push hard because it's 3D, so the petals need to adhere to the bottom there, like that. And then here's the smaller piece. Push hard so it will take. And we're almost done with the flower, but we have a couple of things to add. We have this on the bottom of the flower. We have to curl that. And then on the inside, there are these three little pieces. I will caution you because the one's small, medium, and large. This is a difficult thing to cut out for your Cricut. So I would suggest you use intricate cuts for this. And what you're going to do is, instead of like curling them like this, we're going to more or less push them up like this all around the base, like this, just like that. So there's the small. And here's the medium one. So again, push it all up like this, because they're like tendrils on the picture. They're like tendrils. You can even do that if you want. Okay. So there's that. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Okay. And then you're going to also layer these just like this. Like that. You can move them around so that it gives that impression that it's really thick. And we're just going to glue these on the bottom just like we did with the petals layers. I think, yeah. Is this the smaller of the two? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're going to do this one and then this one. Get it all nice and bunched up like this. Put some glue on the bottom and nestle it into the bottom of your flower, just like this. Now you can play around if you want and just sort of make sure that it's sort of all standing up or whatever, but that's what it looks like. And of course, it takes a little while for all that glue to dry. I can still feel it's a little bit. And you play around with it if you want. This is what I ended up playing around looking in mine. Okay. Then for the bottom of this, we're going to take our little tool again and we're going to shape each of these sort of the sepia. That's what this is called, I believe. The bottom part where is the sepia. I think it's something like that. Pastel? No, I think it's sepia. Somebody who knows flowers should find that out. But it's the part of the base where all of the petals come from or formed, right? So we're going to just give it a little bit of a, we don't want a flat piece, right? So we give it a little bit of a rounded edge like that, and then simply glue it to the flower. And then you don't do anything with this lily piece except put the flower here. And we have finished. I think putting it to the side is kind of nice. I'm trying to remember when I see the lotus, But isn't that beautiful, everyone? I just love it. And again, you can make this even more, interesting or realistic looking by using things like Pan Pastels, or even if you have inks and you want to ink it. But it's just such a beautiful little centerpiece, and I'm so glad that I made it. It's so pretty. I'm going to put it on my dining room table. All right, so again, this is a project for the larger machines. So the Explorer or the Maker, if you have a Joy, we're going to be doing projects for the Joy, so don't despair. We do all kinds of projects for all of the machines. So if you're new to us, definitely you want to be part of this community, because it's a lot of fun. Their people here are so welcoming and encouraging, and we all have a lot of fun here. So definitely join one of our groups, or just say hi and introduce yourself, and we just have fun. And we're going to continue on through the week with these 3D projects. I'm trying to remember what we're doing tomorrow. I have to check. Okay, so I know you're all waiting to hear who the winner is of our Bundle of Joy for July, and so I will not hold you in suspense any longer. Our winner today for the July is Rhonda Blower. Rhonda Blower is the winner for the Bundle of Joy. I hope she's on today. But if she's not, Rhonda, you need to send me an email at my email address, which is missrita@gmail.com, and send me your name and address. Well, I know it's your name, but send an email and just with the address, and we will get, at the end of the month, we'll get your brand new Cricut Joy plus all of the extras. This is a $250 value. Wow. And she is the winner for July. And if you're not Rhonda, that's okay. We're going to be giving another one away in August, and it's only one more week to August. So definitely stay tuned to be in the running for winning this wonderful prize. And that's courtesy of our friends over at Cricut. And I thank them for that. They're very generous people, and we will continue to do our giveaways and have a whole lot of fun. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you had a good time, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. If you're watching this on the replay, check the description of the video for opportunities to support me, and also for links, my affiliate link, which you can get through Cricut, Amazon. I will post the Pan Pastels in the description as well. Congratulations, Rhonda. But, you're all winners because you came today and you're trying something new. So I appreciate that about you. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Hope you get some crafting in today. You're welcome, Matt. All right. Take care of yourselves and enjoy the day. Bye, everyone.